Hi there, welcome. Welcome to Homekeepers. How are you today, my friend? So glad to be here with you. And it's a beautiful day in Central Florida. I hope it's just as beautiful wherever you are today. And one thing we know for sure, this is the day the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. I hope that's your testimony today. I'm very happy to have Heide Janshon back with us. She comes about once a month, and we try to put a spotlight on education, especially the lower grades in our public school system in this country. And there's so many things going on that I believe parents have to be ever vigilant and know what's going on. And that means you become a little detective, you know, check out their assignments, check out every note, check out the material that they are studying and all that. And we're going to talk about that today. As we see generations changing all the time, we're going to talk about millennials. And before I came down here, I found out a Generation Z. I never heard of that before, but it's from 1999 to 2015. So we have a great responsibility as adults that we can bring these children up, especially in the fear and the admonition of the Lord. And Stephanie's joined me, and this recipe we're making today, I was watching a Food Network at home one day, and I was riveted to this thing because I never heard of putting olive oil in a cake. Maybe I'm the last one to learn that. And it's got oranges in it and everything. It just looks so good. And Stephanie told me she did taste the dough, and it's very good. So we'll taste it and see how it is after it's baked. We'll show you how to fix that. And before I join her, though, I again want to offer you this, and this is a good offer on a day we're talking about education. That's the faith of America's presidents. I believe that everything descends from leadership. And when we have someone in the White House who seeks the Lord and believes His word, it's going to have a trickle-down effect. This book, very well researched, Faith of America's Presidents, has been compiled by Daniel Mount, and it has a rich endorsement from Doug Weed, who is a historian as well. We're offering you this book for just that gift of $20. It's a wonderful hardback book, and I think an important book because I'm pretty sure that this is material your children will never learn in school, and that's the faith of any of our leadership. So you can use your credit card with the 800 number, or you can write to us to the address, and we would appreciate it so much because when you order product or when you send an offering, it keeps us coming and getting this message out to the homes of America and beyond. So thank you so much. Hello, this was a new one, wasn't it?
Yes, and the batter was really tasty, so I'm excited.
Would it be possible to bake a cake or cookies and not taste the batter?
Sometimes I can do it. Today was not the day.
Well, have you ever, it wasn't new to Susan, but have you ever used olive oil in a cake?
Not that much olive oil. I mean, that's a lot of olive oil.
Yeah.
So no. The answer is no.
And it goes in these little pans.
Which are great to share.
Yeah, well, I mentioned it to Susan because sometimes it's not broken down to, you know, another size of a pan. And it's just probably for portion control.
Yes.
So that's good.
And to share. Oh, so, look, these are another pair of my dollar earrings.
Those are really pretty.
I know. $1 at the Knoxville Expo Center flea market. Just saying.
It might be worth a trip.
I love them.
Was it a really good flea market?
Yeah, it was really fun. It was lots of fun. Okay, so I have a 1 3/4 cups of flour.
And I'm doing what I do best.
Yes, you're spraying the pans. I have a 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and a 1/4 teaspoon each of baking soda and salt. And I'm just going to mix up the dry ingredients a little bit. And then I have, well, it called for a cup of sugar, but I put a 1/2 cup this morning.
And it tasted fine, right?
Because I know you don't want to put all the sugar, so I'm not gonna.
Well, I always harken back to that.
That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot.
That's an awful lot.
Sugar. My goodness.
I always harken back to that article I read.
Yes, I have a 1/4 cup of fresh squeezed orange juice, and then I have some zest from 2 oranges, and we're gonna get this all mixed up until the sugar is dissolved. And then I'm gonna add 1/3 cup of just plain yogurt. I'm going to add 3 eggs, and I'm going to add 2/3 cup olive oil.
It's going to...
Oh my gosh, that right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anytime they put a zest in it, like lemon or
it's just the
makes it better.
flavors. The batter this morning was just
Now I'm going to mix the glaze.
Yes, you have powdered sugar,
and
orange juice, and zest that you're mixing together. So I'm going to mix the yogurt in. I'm going to mix 3 eggs in. I'm going to mix 2/3 cup of olive oil. I'm going to put the dry and wet together, and then I'm going to fold in these lovely orange slices. Like it's orange, orange, orange. A little more orange. Yummy. Yeah, so this flea market, I'll tell you, you go early. If you're in Knoxville, they have it once a month. And you get there.
You better be there.
And you go there right when they open, because it opens at 10. By 11 o'clock, you can't walk down the aisles. So we were done.
Was it a real big one? You know, we have a big one here.
Yeah, it was Expo Hall, so it was pretty big. Yeah.
Well, really, your earrings are so pretty. I'm surprised you didn't buy up 100 for Christmas gift.
I bought a few, and I just wasn't mentally prepared. I have to be mentally prepared to spend money. I don't care if it's $1. I have to be mentally prepared.
Well, also, you were just getting over Christmas, so.
Yeah, true story. Okay, so I'm going to mix the dry and the wet. Let me make sure those eggs are mixed up. I had a spoon.
It's looking
here.
good. What do you want?
Oh, my spoon.
Oh.
Yeah. So the dry and the wet.
So you didn't even get out the mixer for this?
No.
That's kind of nice.
No, I am the mixer, yeah.
You don't have to wash those beaters.
Yeah, and then I'm just going to fold, and that's two oranges that are just cut up. Oh my gosh, the smell is crazy. It just smells so fresh. Like if you want a Florida, this is a Florida cake right here.
Well, I would appreciate it if they would tell you, if you don't have these little pans, what size of pan to put, because that's pretty important.
Yeah. You can make it in a loaf pan. It's just going to take a lot longer to bake.
To cook, yeah.
Yes, a lot longer. You'll want to keep checking it. Okay. I'm going to fold in the orange slices. Oh, look at that glaze.
Aha.
Hello, Florida. Look at how cute they are. Wouldn't you love to wrap one of these up and give it to a friend? Really?
Yeah. Yep.
So you fold in the orange slices, and then you just divide it amongst the 3.
And you just take a spoon and drizzle? Is that the way you do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're baking this 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. 30 to 40 minutes. Just keep checking it with a toothpick. The toothpick should come out clean.
Well, they call this, would this be considered a quick bread?
It's not a cake. They call it mini cakes.
If you put in a loaf pan?
Yeah.
I'll bet there's some viewer out there that could tell us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a cake. It's a bread.
Oh. Let's get this show on the road, because I want to get me a cup of tea and have one of these cakes.
So it's called Orange Olive Oil Mini Cake.
Yep.
Yeah. So go ahead and try it.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and...
You're making them all pretty?
Well, this zest smells
Well, this
glorious.
isn't going to last. These aren't going to last long. I can tell you that right now. I'm going to have to take one upstairs for some people.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. I'd say in an hour there'll be history.
Yeah, well, that's only because you're
This is
taping
still
for
a little
the next
bit
30
warm.
minutes.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my.
Oh, my. Oh, it's
We
so
did it
warm.
again.
Yes.
I got the sweetest email from a lady. She says, isn't that good? She says, I love looking at your faces when you don't like something, but we like this. Oh, what is that?
Delightful.
It's so light.
Yeah, that's so good.
Well, sometimes this kind of dough, or what feels heavy.
It's a batter. Yeah.
Is that what it is?
A batter.
Okay. Well,
Yummy.
if you want this recipe, that information is coming up on your screen. It's absolutely free. And we love hearing from you anyway, very much. Your emails are so precious to us. And so thank you for all that. Thank you for any contact you make with us. So that information is coming up. You can get it if you want the recipe. And I'm going to join Heide Janshon with some information I think you need to know.
If you would like a copy of today's recipe, you may receive it by contacting us through social media as listed on the screen. When requesting a copy through the mail, be sure to include a self-addressed stamped envelope. Thank you, and please know we always appreciate hearing from our viewers.
Well, welcome back, Heidi. It's been a while.
Thank you. It has been.
And you are a substitute teacher. I mean, you've always been this hands-on mother. What grades are your children in now?
Our daughter is in 6th grade, and our son is in 8th grade. So we have been going through the course card selection process now to start high school.
Oh.
So here's our brilliant son, right? So I do love to brag on him because he is pretty amazing in math.
I remember.
He is in 8th grade, and he is finishing up Algebra 2, which is a junior level high school course. And this summer, he said last night that he wants to take pre-calculus honors over the summer and start in AP Calculus BC, Section BC, as a freshman in high school. And we talked to a teacher last night at the curriculum fair at Mitchell High School, and she was like, well, I would be shocked to have a freshman in my class. And I said,
Why
well,
not?
This would be the one right here.
You know, the wonderful thing for your children is your involvement and your husband.
Absolutely.
I was just talking to Darlene Greenlee about some of the things we're going to discuss today, some of it about millennials. And her daughter's a millennial who has a master's in psychology, and she's very productive. And I was telling them the basic trends, though, are not that good.
That's right.
And she said, well, I said, your daughter had 2 parents.
Yeah.
That's where it happens, is when the parents are involved and they know what's going on.
Yes.
Okay, where should we start? Let's start with you, because we also want to talk about some amazing stuff that your kids are on their what do they call them?
What?
All their phones and their iPads.
Devices.
The devices, yeah, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, but they have some studies now on it that parents need to take control of that.
They do. And you know what? Not just parents, but I am advocating that the schools step in and intervene. That there have to be, there has to be a line that's drawn in the sand.
Oh yeah, it's so destructive. Well, let's finish this and then we'll go to yours. Okay.
All right.
The thing that was brought out, which I watched some information on the internet and also some other things, is they're going to be dysfunctional because they don't have relationships. You don't have a relationship when you type a message this way.
Right.
And the amount of time that is spent on it, and they don't, so as they move on, they don't function well in the workplace. They don't function well in relationships.
Yeah.
And I think one advice was they need to be collected. There needs to be a certain time that they can use them. And that's where the parents come in. They need to say, this is the only time you can use this.
Right.
And remember, you're the parent.
Well, I would have to say on a student, from a teacher to a student vantage point, that what I have seen is that students without their devices in their hands, which has now actually become an appendage. I mean, honestly, it's an appendage.
I'd have surgery and just sew it in.
You know what? And there have been some really crazy ideas that there should be something that is actually on the back of the hand and implanted. And I was like, please don't go there. Please don't.
Yeah.
Is that the students become restless being still. It's hard for these young people these days to just be still. They are so overstimulated by fast-moving things and games and all, and even for our own children to just remove that and say it's time to read a book now. But from a teacher standpoint, I can tell you even just yesterday in the classroom how many times I had to say, I see you have a cell phone in your hand, and if I see that cell phone when I turn around, it is going to be mine on my desk. And they're like, and I'm like, I see everything. You don't realize who's standing in front of you.
Yeah, I've got eyes in the back of my head.
Right.
Have there been any efforts to collect them before class begins? And how does that work?
There are a lot of teachers that have rules in place. There's a sign on their door. My son's team is one of them. you may not enter the classroom with your device. Must be in your backpack. Your device must be in your backpack. Cell phones must be in your backpack before you enter this classroom. That's on the middle school level. I know that there are some high school teachers that probably have the same rules so that the children and the students can concentrate when they're in the classroom, because they are so distracted, honestly. Yeah, I'm like, are you kidding me? I had a student yesterday, teacher sitting right here, I'm getting ready to take over her class, and there's a student there, and she just got done telling the whole class to put their cell phones away, and they know what the rules are, and she'll take them away. They'll become hers on the desk until the end of the day. And there's a student there with his tablet right here, propped up, not even sitting as far as I am from you, from his own teacher. And I looked at him, I said his name, and I said, "Are you watching a video?" And he looked at me and he grinned, and I said, "I think you know where that needs to go right now." And he just closed it up, put it away. I was like, wow.
How many teachers would use that kind of authority?
There are some that just get tired of saying the same thing over and over again. But yeah, they do. You become the broken record.
Also in this exchange I heard, I think you prompted me to it, about the millennials, is that they don't function well in the workplace, usually don't
Well, look at it.
work very long.
Arthelene, how many people do you know nowadays, like the younger generation, any millennials, are going to, that you even envision working for the same company for 20 years? And then those companies run by millennials, will they even be in existence 20 years from now? Because they're like from one thing to the next. It's fast paced. They get tired, something doesn't happen, you told them they needed to work their way up in the company and be patient, and they're like, okay, well, I waited 4 months, I waited 8 months, and you're like, 8 months? You barely got your foot in the door. You barely got through your grace period, your probationary period, where now your benefits kick in, and now you're talking that you want to move on because you just don't feel like you're moving up fast enough.
Well, that's part of the entitlement syndrome. I remember, because I got a couple of millennial grandchildren, and when I see this, I see the absolute responsibility of the parents. But this expert that you and I both heard, they've been told they're special. They get a trophy if they lose a game.
For participation.
Yeah. I thought about that. My parents, no one ever told me I was special. No one. I survived. I think that's silly. Because if a child succeeds at something, or they do get an A on the test, they know.
That's the reward.
Yeah, but if you tell them they're special, they'll soon figure out they're not. And so we now have a whole generation that we see the fruit of this. What will ever turn it around?
You know what? It's going to have to be concerted effort. There are parents now who drop their children off or let their children go to middle school. Middle school, we're talking 11 and 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds when they hit middle school, and they feel like, okay, my parenting is over.
Yeah.
All right, and I'll see you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Or yay, I can let them go home at the end of the day, and I'll see them at 6 o'clock. I no longer have to go and pick them up from school and spend that time with them, which they don't realize that they're sacrificing that time with their children, because now who is spending all that time with their kids? When they leave school at 3 o'clock and they arrive at home maybe 30 minutes or an hour later, and their parents don't show up for another 2 hours, you know, they're doing what they do best.
It seems like we always come back to parenting. And one thing I believe in for children is church life. It's what I call church life. And most churches have opportunities for youth and children and children's churches and Sunday school and VBS. I think that you can't realize how valuable that is till you are an adult. I remember reading somewhere years and years ago where J. Edgar Hoover, who was Attorney General at the time of the United States, would sometimes sentence kids to Sunday school. And I want to make sure it's right. He said he believed a child brought up in church is seldom brought up in court. he sentenced a high school graduate, or sentenced one, you have to graduate from high school. You're going to go to jail if you don't do this. This is what he's saying. You're going to be in jail a long time. You have to graduate from high school, train to be a welder, have drug and alcohol tests, give speeches against drugs and alcohol, and park in a pew every Sunday or else. Now, that would never fly today, but it's pretty good advice.
It would be pretty good advice. I had a student yesterday, an 8th grader, who said, in response to doing some pre-algebra equations, when am I ever going to use this in real life? When is this ever going to be useful to me? And I said, I'll tell you how useful it is. It's going to get you a high school diploma, and that high school diploma will equal an income.
Uh-huh.
And that's
pretty good bargain.
That's your usefulness for this class.
Yeah. Now, I want to get to what you brought, but there's one more thing I want to bring up. Betsy DeVos is the Secretary of Education, right? Which I don't think we should even have one in Washington.
Right.
It should be in the state's hands. So let's get rid of that, save a few dollars. But she stated that Common Core is dead, and my first thought was, I wonder if the teachers know that.
Nope. It's not dead. Well,
how could it be dead that fast and nobody knows?
No. Well, from her standpoint, the new ESSA, the Elementary School Secondary Act, which is now Every Student Succeeds Act, has been revamped. Okay, so it's been in effect now for a little over a year, and so from her standpoint, the states now have the freedom to remove Common Core if they would like, and so, you know, the federal government is done with Common Core. But let me tell you, they spent the last almost 10 years putting it into place. Curriculum, training, teachers, testing, big corporations making lots of money, big business. There's a lot that went into it. So to undo it would cost just as much. And now the states don't have the carrot that the federal government dangled in front of them to redo it.
Who in the state would make the decision that we're going to get rid of it?
The legislators. It would have to happen at the legislative level, and the legislature is in session now. Our legislature is no friend to public education. In fact, I believe right now with everything that they're doing, they're trying to kill public education.
What do they want?
They want to privatize, they want to give it over to corporations for charter schools, for profit. And in the end, what you're going to see, if that really comes to pass, because right now Hillsborough County is in the hot seat, and their superintendent has been charged by given the charge by the Board of Education, for lack of anything better to do so that they can appear as though they're actually doing something, is they are demanding that he fire principals in failing schools. And he's telling them these principals haven't had a chance to turn these schools around yet, but they're not looking at the socioeconomics. You will always see, and it has been statistically proven, that students from low-income communities are not going to, testing is not on their highest list of priorities. And
and there's a parent problem there too. A lot of them don't have a daddy.
No.
The greatest percentage of some of those areas, those urban areas, there's no father in the home.
You can't make principals and teachers responsible for putting food on somebody's table, putting income in a household, and then expecting and demanding from a child, you need to succeed, because if you don't succeed, I'm going to lose my job. My boss is going to lose their job, so therefore you're responsible for my job. And those words have actually come out of teachers' mouths.
Boy, it's like a mountain of
It's awful.
Before we run out of time, though, I want you to, what you brought on this paper.
Okay, so the last time we spoke, you asked me to do a little bit of research on what is happening with the transgender issue in the schools. And so this article right here is from 2 days ago, and it's from Volusia County, Daytona Beach, right here in Florida. It has to do with a transgender student and his family. The transgender student claims Volusia school policies are discriminatory, and the parents have filed a lawsuit. They said that they have been battling with the school district for years. So
is it the bathroom? What is the problem?
It's a 15-year-old. So the problem is that this particular child born a girl, now wanting to identify as a boy, or having for
Whatever.
many years trying to identify as a boy, wants to have the same privileges as all other boys. And Arthelene, from my standpoint, I mean, I like to what end result, to what end is it that I feel like there's such a myopic, and you know, I'm sure I'll get criticized for saying this, but the view is that I have rights and I demand to have the same rights as somebody else who I'm trying to look like. But when I personally, when I approach it from a biblical standpoint, I look at the scriptures and it says He made them man and woman. He didn't make anything in between, and somehow, some way, these boys and girls feel like they are identifying with the opposite sex. They dress that way. What I see on the campuses these days is that it's more girls dressing like boys. I don't see any boys that are trying to dress like girls. The girls cut their hair short, they wear boy clothing, and they change their names to a masculine name. But to me, I still see them as a female. I love them all the same. If they want a different name, okay, I will call them that. But as far as becoming militant and wanting to, I don't know what each individual school is dealing with and how those students feel bullied. But there are so many students and children who are being bullied, possibly within this particular population as well, that suicide rate is high. I believe that the schools need to pay attention to all of this, and we see it, but you're not getting at the root of it all.
Problem is, when they're dead and gone, if you dig them up and their bones, they're going to know whether it's a boy or girl.
They still
the
will.
chromosome is still there.
They will, but I'm thinking about their own safety. Why would a girl, someone who's born with the physiology of a woman, want to step into a boy's locker room and try to, and then what? You're trying to convince that opposite sex that you are the same sex as them, and then you're angry that they're not accepting you that way.
Yeah, we are out of time, but we'll pick this up next time because there's a whole lot more information on it, and you can tell just the material we've covered today. We need to pray for our school system, but also the most important thing is parents be parents. You have the greatest influence of anyone. And we are out of time, so join me next time, remembering there's no higher calling than that of a homekeeper. God bless you.
If you should miss a Homekeepers program, you can catch up by going to www.ctnonline.com. Click on CTN Programs and then on Homekeepers.